It's preparing the stream. Welcome to the Faceoff After Show. I'm Caroline Meyer from Get Travel Solutions, and this is Greeley Cook with me today from 490 Consulting. And this is a Faceoff After Show, and where we're going to talk about what we learned in the Faceoff. This topic was outsourcing travel versus sourcing travel versus outsourcing travel, and it was in regards to travel manager role. So we talked about what was currently happening right now, and we're seeing like a large rise in demand for this role, for the travel manager role. And we talked a little about why that was occurring. So I want to share my perspective and Greeley's. So I'll start off with mine, and Greeley will give his 2 cents. Okay, Greeley?
That's right.
All right, wonderful. So there's been a large rise in demand due to the pandemic, and a lot of travel manager roles were let go. At the time, travel had ceased, so it made sense that something like that would occur. And so many people did that, and now they're either backfilling the roles or they're actually creating new roles because they have maybe they're a company who didn't manage their travel program before, and now they understand the need that they need to. Since the environment has changed due to the pandemic, they're focusing more on defining that role around employee safety as number one versus savings, which we would normally find in procurement driven prior to the pandemic, and also just a number of things. Sustainability is obviously a big one, and diversity, equality, inclusion, DEI. So that's what I see going on, and companies, I feel like, don't want to risk hiring a travel manager because they see the role is continuing to change and we're coming back to travel quickly. So they're outsourcing the roles, is my theory, to get that covered and get themselves going and kind of move towards continual change. So those are my 2 cents. What are yours, Greeley?
Yeah, my takeaways from the discussion, the main one is that some companies have either decided to outsource everything, and that could be both the strategic overview of the travel program and the transactional aspect of it. Then we've also seen a hybrid where some companies have said, we're going to keep that strategic function within the company on the company's payroll, but then we're going to outsource all the transactional work. There's no reason for us to manage that in-house. So I think, there's this, let's get rid of it and outsource it all, or let's do this hybrid solution, was my main takeaway, which then leads into, who do you outsource it to? And we know that there's consulting firms, TMCs, and others that you can outsource it to, but then that leads into governance, right? And how you manage that outsourced provider, especially if that outsourced provider happens to be your TMC. So who manages that, right? And how do you put the KPIs and the governance in straight so that everybody feels comfortable with the structure and the layout?
Yeah, that's a very good point. And Greg brought that up from BCD, and I thought it was a very good point. As he was saying, as he calls on travel managers, he's wondering if he's calling another TMC. He's not sure who they're employed with. So yeah, it really changes the landscape.
Right, because there was some skepticism on his part if he's calling on an outsourced travel manager employed by another TMC.
Right.
Is he sharing too much? So even that leads you to believe that the TMCs are a little bit skeptical of calling on somebody else from another TMC. So I think this governance aspect of it and who you choose to outsource needs to work for your company and what you're trying to accomplish, whether you have a small program, or a large global program.
Right. And then overall, I agree with you. Again, the role is changing. We're seeing this happen. It's understandable why it would happen. And we continue to look forward to seeing more differences in this role as it continues, the landscape changes, the environment changes. And we'll keep people updated on this Faceoff. We're watching it. We've got this topic, right, Greeley? And if it comes back up.
And one other quick point too is we heard also that these companies that are taking on the outsourced role are hiring travel managers, right? So I think that where we've seen some travel managers transition from the company payroll to an outsourced payroll, and that then becomes a new source of jobs for travel managers, not just looking within companies to be their travel manager, but looking at these outsourced providers as a source of employment as well, which is good for those travel managers.
You're absolutely right. And that's a good mention because I've heard from many TMCs, not just the two that we talked to, BCD and Amex GBT, that they are seeing a large rise in this. So feel free to reach out to your TMCs if you're looking for this role because they are hiring the folks as well. So there's many TMCs all over the globe that you can reach out to if you're looking for that opportunity. We will definitely watch this role. We will definitely keep you updated on what's going on. It's constantly changing. Again, number one right now is employee safety, employee satisfaction, making the trip great. And the people in the role are trying to make that happen. And we're trying to help them too. Right, Greeley?
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Greeley, for joining me today. I guess I'll see you at the next Faceoff on September 27th. We'll do team travel versus individual. And that should be very interesting. That's another trend and change that's happening in the travel industry today. Looking forward to that.
Sounds good. Okay. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Right. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
That's
really.
Right.
Like, give your thumbs up and subscribe, and you'll get these updates when we go live. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Greeley. And thank you all for watching.